In the new show Rutherford Falls, a small town is turned upside down when two lifelong friends find themselves at a crossroads when their sleepy town gets an unexpected wake up call. Take a look.
Charles Barkley Gin.
Oh yeah, nothing but top shelf for Kaufman. Plus, I can't make the rookie mistake of showing up empty-handed asking for a favor.
Yeah, Regan, we can't all be like you, constantly taking up Nathan's time, responsible to no one and for nothing.
Why aren't you in school?
Why don't you have a man in your life?
I love you.
Love you too.
And star of Rutherford Falls, Jessie Leigh is joining me now. Jessie, how are you? Good to see you.
Good. Good morning, New York.
This is one of the most anticipated new shows on Peacock. Tell us a little bit about the story and kind of this crossroads that these two characters are at right now.
Yeah, Rutherford Falls is a small town comedy about the lifelong friendship between Nathan Rutherford and Regan Wells. And Nathan Rutherford is, of course, played by the iconic Ed Helms from The Office and Hangover. And he is a descendant of the town's founder. Therefore, he has a lot of pride in his town. And the conflict kind of kicks off when Nathan refuses the taking down of his ancestor's statue.
Yeah, it sure does kick off from there, doesn't it? But let's talk about your character, Bobby. Tell us about Bobby and how they fit into the story.
Bobby is first generation Chinese, and they are very proudly gender non-binary. They go by they/them pronouns. And they're the top of their class at Rutherford Falls High School. But Bobby's main focus is being Nathan's assistant at the Heritage Museum.
Yeah, and I love the kind of the dynamic between the two of you in this show. Like, did you and Ed spend some time together to get a little bit of chemistry going, or was it just natural?
It was just natural. We just both brought our A game, and it was just so funny watching him. And I just learned so much from him, and it just made me want to make bold choices too.
Yeah, well, you're just coming off the Heathers series, right? And you played Peter. What were you looking for in your next role? And what attracted you to this one?
I really just wanted to play someone who was authentic to themselves. And I just noticed that right away from Bobby. They are very confident. They're very outspoken, even if it's to the mayor of the town, which we see in the pilot episode.
Yeah.
And Bobby was just a dream come true in playing.
Yeah, and the team behind this show couldn't be better. I mean, they created Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Parks and Rec and Superstore, which is like some of the best comedies on NBC. What do you think makes a good comedy?
Comedy stems from the truth, and having a diverse writer's room allows for truthful stories to be told.
You were also recently interviewed by GLAAD for the Trans Day of Visibility. And one of the things that you said was that very often trans and the Asian communities are the butt of the jokes, and that it's so important to choose roles that are authentic. I feel like this philosophy is wise beyond your years. But I'm just curious if you had a mentor kind of helping you navigate this industry, because it can be tough.
Yeah, it can be tough. And unfortunately, I didn't really have a mentor. On screen, I was able to watch some amazing comedians. And growing up, Raven from That's So Raven was my number one. She was just very confident as herself and just very amazing with her physical comedy.
Yeah.
And also my mom. My mom's a single mother, and she is the strongest person I know.
Yeah. Lastly, we are huge animal lovers here, and we have a soft spot for rescues because we do animal adoptions every week on this show. And we know you have a new member of your family. Tell us about Moochie. How's Moochie doing?
Moochie is great. I started fostering Moochie a couple weeks after we wrapped season 1. And I am what is known as a foster failure now. I couldn't let her go. I had to adopt her. She is the best thing that has happened. And she's been the best buddy during this crazy time period that we're in.
Yeah, well, I would call that a foster success, Jessie. You can catch Rutherford Falls streaming on Peacock now. Jessie, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.